Hey you, it's Jess here and so nice to see you, and I am doing my final January 2026 plan with me. So I apologize for taking so long to finish up January, but I got a bit carried away with my journaling videos last week, but here we are, finally finishing January, and then we'll get onto February. But for the final week of January 26th through the 1st of Feb, I'm using the Cyber Monday mystery from last year from SBC called All Dolled Up, which you would have seen in the kit lineup. And I paired it with the foil that it came with, which was a sparkly hollow, what was the bundle called? Oh, Gilded. So it's like a spritz of glitter over it. I haven't properly used this yet, especially over the glitter header overlays and the overlays themselves, but I am loving it. I think it looks so cute, this spread, the glitteriness. It really makes me think of, when plastic covers of things or makeup cases with glitter in them. That's what it makes me think of, and it makes me very happy. I feel like it goes with the spread so well. I just did my usual color blocking and deco up the top. Still getting used to these OkPlans inserts with how the bottom washi area is a bit smaller and the top area is a bit bigger, but I'm able to get a lot more deco in terms of getting to see all the deco, which is nice. Overall, I feel like my planning style works perfectly in these inserts. So now that I've had a month worth of spreads to play with it, I'm pretty happy with these inserts overall, and I really like the paper quality. And I feel like, especially with the date covers, the date cover sticker paper of SBC blends in well with the color of this paper. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it all around. And I think it came out pretty well. There was a lot of boxes to choose from. I did want to put in all the people, so there was a lot of boxes I didn't get to use, but I'm sure those will get reformatted this year, and I'll definitely pick it up again to play around with. But otherwise, I guess that's it for everything for the base. I can't remember anything else. If anything went poorly, I've done the base forever ago now. I know some things happen with some of the bases that would have been filmed, but you're just gonna have to see it in the fast forward, and I can't remember. But let's get finished up with the base here. It's pretty standard, and we'll start with the day-by-day planning. Okay, so here we are with our finished base. I just have the, this was the digital book that I was reading this week called The Book That Broke the World, which was the second in the library trilogy by Mark Lawrence. And I put it here so I can just read when I reference it throughout the week, so I don't have to write The Book That Broke the World, because I like to know what books I'm reading at the time through my planner. And that is have some typical to-dos that I was doing that week. So let's get started on the day-by-day proper. We got Monday, which is always Coffee Monday. And I love this pattern that I did with the lipsticks and the kisses, so cute. And then I played some of that game that, if you remember, I'm not recommending playing this game. It's called Heartopia, and yeah, I've left it long behind me now, but I'm still playing it through this week. I think it's sometime in Feb I stopped playing it when it's just, yeah, I just got really unhappy with the game. And I have a rant about it in my Enchanted Winter Plan with Me. And that's what I'll stop talking about it there. Just didn't have to keep putting up with it, but I just wanted to warn each time. If you haven't watched the other Plan with Me's, I don't recommend playing this game, Heartopia. There are better options out there. I still just want to mark my planner as is, what I was actually doing during that time. And then, I don't know, I just put in that I had sadness this day. It happens every now and then. So I did use some of the scripts. I'm trying to do mostly writing in my planner at the moment. But, yeah. It's an interesting week. I didn't do any work this week. I'm just having a look here. I think I was in a really bad way this week. I definitely had a lot of some mental health issues, especially around this part in the end of January. So I didn't work at all this week. which wasn't great, really. I should have, but you'll see I was struggling this week a lot with my mental health and just everything in life. I feel like a lot of us are probably feeling that way this year. I don't know, it's just it kind of started off strong, and there's still elements of my life that was still going well, like we're still meal prepping. In fact, it's week 19 of the year that I'm filming this, and we've only just, well, we did half a meal prep. We kind of split our meal prep across 2 days recently, but we kind of missed out on this week because there was a public holiday when we usually have groceries delivered, so we got 18 weeks straight of doing our proper meal prep for all of our lunches all week, so we're pretty happy with that. So that was a really great routine that we got into, both my partner and I, and then we're back on it this week because we're getting groceries normally again. But yeah, so otherwise I feel like some things were going well, but then my mental health overall was not doing well, especially with work. And I think also my arm problems as well. Is this the time? I feel like this was at this point. I usually wear a brace, a wrist brace on my dominant hand every night to sleep because I'm very much a T-Rex arm person. When I sleep, I fold my hands all over the place. And I've been using this one wrist brace for a few years now, and it finally like broke. Like it could no longer, like the sticky straps just pulled straight off. So I couldn't close it. And then we had to order one for delivery because I couldn't get one in my size. Because I don't know why, but in Europe, I wear the largest size wrist brace, even though I don't think I have, I don't know what people who are larger than me do, but, so anyway, yeah, I had to order one online to get the size because our, like, chemist didn't have any really, like, other than small wrist braces in. So that took a few days to get to me, so, and yet I was sleeping without it, and I was getting pins and needles, numbing. I'm still very much recovering from that nerve pain that I got in this finger, a nerve injury that like pretty much affects my entire arm and my elbow. So I think that added to my sadness is like the physical hardship of not being able to draw, and also like, yeah, because I found like once I started wearing a wrist brace, before that I would get numb hands every night, like, and I'd wake up from the numb hands, and that the wrist brace would stop that, but then I was getting it again. But luckily, by the end of this week, we do get the wrist brace back, but a new one. But yeah, so this was a hard week, I will say. As pretty as a set as it is for the plan with me, but anyway, continuing on. I played some Infinity Nikki. We're rewatching the One Piece anime. I think we're still rewatching at this point because we had finished in Dressrosa originally, so we started from the beginning to catch up, and now we've gone way past Dressrosa, but we're not way past. I guess we're on the arc afterwards. We're still watching One Piece anime, and then we cooked honey harissa pasta, which we've been obsessed with. It is a you cook the pasta separately, but in an oven dish. I'll link the recipe down below because it is so good. We eat it so often. It's like a play on the baked feta and tomato recipe, but basically you put a block of feta cheese, chicken, and then a mix of harissa paste and honey on top of those. Then cherry tomatoes, cut up capsicum or bell pepper, a little lemon juice, a little oregano. You just put that in the oven, and then you just shred or cut up the chicken afterwards, and then mix all it in with the pasta. Like the tomato juices and the feta and harissa all make a really good creamy sauce for the pasta with the chicken. It's so good. So I'll put the recipe down below in the description because I highly recommend it. Once we started having it, we have it every week now. It's one of our weekly meals, and it is so easy because you just put some pasta on the stove, and you just plop this in the oven, and then you just put them together. Perfect. So good. And harissa is just delicious. And then I was reading the book that broke the world. All right. So that was Monday. Monday all filled in. So Tuesday, again, I was playing that game in the morning. And then, okay, I'm gonna put a chubby little thing here, but I did a bunch of journaling on this day. I think I was still working on, I was probably working on February stuff as well as continually to work on my art journal January prompts. So I did a bunch of journaling, and then I was also listening to the audiobook, the second audiobook for the Skyward series, Starlight, which it's just, I talked about last Plan With Me. It's a really, it's a Brandon Sanderson YA sci-fi that has nothing to do with the main Cosmere series. So this is like it's in its own world, and it's really fun. It's very YA, but I do find it enjoyable. I wrote that very poorly, and I read my thing wrong. It's Starsight, not Starlight. So I wrote that really badly. I think I'm just going to pick this up and redo it, because I do have three of these stickers. So I think it'll be fine if I just redo this one. So I'll be right back. Alright, that's a little better. But the book is Starsight, not Starlight. I was just thinking, like, what the heck is Starlight? That's not the book I was reading. Anyway, I'm going to put a thing down here for the book. And we're doing the same thing as Monday with 3 little things. So we're watching more One Piece. We had KFC for dinner. And I played some more Nikki and then read my book. So kind of similar. This is a pretty, not a very exciting week because I wasn't doing a lot and I was very depressed. Yes, a lot of crying. Oy, such is life. Sometimes it happens. I suppose maybe I was also like, it was the depths of winter, and this is when January still wasn't very wintry. I feel like January was like ugly winter. Just kind of cold and icy, whereas February was like, it had really beautiful white glittery snow. So February felt a little bit better, but Feb was a little sad. I don't actually suffer from sad seasonal affective disorder. Actually, I suffer from the opposite. It's not so much now. It was especially bad when I was in Australia, but summer makes me really depressed. Summer's a lot nicer here in Finland, so I don't find it as bad, but I don't know. I talked to my partner's dad before about it. He's a GP, or a general practitioner, or a primary care doctor, I guess they're called in America. And he said, like, it's a thing. It's just not widely like studied, but it is a thing that you have like opposite affective, seasonal affective. The sun is just so bleh. There's just like the intense heat. I always joked that it was like the Irish blood in me just hated the intense heat and made it angry. But because my dad was born in Ireland, so I'm half Irish. All Australian technically. But anyway, I just always joked about that because my body is just not suited for heat. But anyway, so I'll just put in the normal stuff, basically the same as the day before. Alright, now on to Wednesday. I'm a bit more chatty today's Plan With Me. I guess I'd be kind of chatty all of them, to be honest, but because it's been a while. But Locke is at the office today, so I have free reign to wallow on my own credulence. I can't say that quite normally because it has a swear in it, but I try not to. I swear a lot in real life, I'll be honest. I am Australian. I do say the C word. But not that often, actually. But it doesn't, like, scare me or anything. But I try not to swear on here because, I don't know, I think it's just easier. And you never know, someone might be having this on with their kids in the background, and I understand. It's just easy not to swear. Plus YouTube, you know. I do have ads on, although I set it to never have mid-roll ads, so I basically make sense, like almost nothing. But I feel like I just don't like having mid-roll ads. I will say I do give myself YouTube Premium because I watch so much YouTube, and it is worth it for me because I watch more of it than TV, to be honest. But I understand many other people don't want that, so I turn off mid-roll ads. But there's some ads at the start and the beginning, so I like to have a little, little something in return, but I don't know. I'm just doing this for fun, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just blabbing onto them, yapping. You know, it is a Wednesday morning and I'm alone, so I'm yapping. Alright, so this Wednesday, I played that game. I did some filming, like today. How funny. And then I just wrote that I did nothing. Like on my computer, I just sat about. I did nothing. Or didn't I? Oh, I think actually I've changed this. I've taken out nothing because, well, I was doing nothing. So this has changed to edit and upload. So I did film those videos and then I did nothing. I was like, you know what? I might as well edit and upload those videos, which can take time. So edit and upload. I just realized I took nothing out when I was picking my stickers, but it's still here on my notes. Edit and upload. That's because I was going to use some bigger stickers down here. So we got my typical read, and then we have a little thing for One Piece, and then I wanted to use a box for playing Infinity Nikki, because I wanted to use this cute sticker for it, and I think it's cute. So why not? Alright, that is the finished first half of the week. I think it's coming out so cute. I always love when these stickers are finally down and you get the full effect, especially while color blocking. So let's start with Thursday. Once again, we're playing that game because I was getting up at like 6 a.m. every day, so I was playing it before I'd have breakfast and then I'd play a game. Mostly that one at the time, before I had to start work at like 9. So I played it a bit. Oh yes, this is that day. So I was just, I feel like my sadness was at an all-time high this day. It was really bad. And so I played some Nikki after Utopia. I was just like, no, I just want to shadow the world. And then I was just like, you know what? I applied for a bunch of summer jobs because summer jobs are really big here in Finland. And they usually come out in January, the applications for them. And summer jobs are really the way to get in on a junior level. Like, it's basically a paid internship job. And you know, you get all of the experience, and then sometimes they give you a position after your internship, or rather then you have work experience. It's mainly aimed for students, like high school and university students. That's why it's a summer thing. But anyone can technically apply, and technically, not technically, but my partner Locke, that is how they have their current job. They applied for one of these summer internships and they got a job from it, and now this year they are celebrating their 5th year fully employed there, and they're getting a 5-year gift. They have chosen a toolkit, a tool set, a toolbox as their 5-year gift. But yeah, so I was like, you know what, the applications are out, I will try and apply for jobs. So I had to redo my resume. I did a bunch of cover letters. I applied for a bunch of different companies. Mostly I applied for marketing jobs because I was like, well, technically I do marketing and that kind of thing. And yeah, well, a big old spoiler, but I got nothing. I didn't even get interviews, rejected for all of them. So you'll be happy to know I'm sticking about doing art because I have at the moment no other options. That's part of the sadness, was I think that the art business is not great right now, overall. So it was a bit sad. I was kind of hoping it'd be nice to try out something, even though it was really scary. But sadly, nothing came of those job applications. I think it's really, really hard to get those. Like, hundreds of people apply. Unemployment's like the highest in Europe here right now in Finland. And also, I don't have a Finnish name or Finnish language, which really, like, even if you are like a foreigner with fluent Finnish, it's really hard to get a job anyway. It's kind of, a big problem with the employment here. If you don't have a Finnish name, they don't love looking at you. But it was kind of a lucky fluke that Locke got their job. But I think it's because they're in a very like at the time though, it was a really wanted position. Like they wanted people to fill this position. Plus they were doing a PhD, so you know they had a high level of qualification. And well, I'm just a lowly business owner, small business owner with a history PhD, so they probably don't care about my marketing skills. But anyway, that's all to say is I spent the whole day doing job applications and I didn't get any. So I did do a bit of like, there was one that I applied for that I got rejected literally half an hour later. And they're like, we've really, you know, the canned response of like, we've really spent time looking at application. I'm like, no, you didn't. It's been 30 minutes. But granted, that was for a job that I was definitely not qualified for. And I was just doing like, think like a white man and just apply for anything. So it makes sense that I wasn't given a position at I think it was Airbus, you know, a plane company, and it was about like, plane stuff, which is obviously nothing to do with me, but I was like, you know what, I can learn. I have a PhD about learning, so I can learn, but you know, that was my, and then I think the sadness kind of culminated in all the rejections, and I was just like, well, time to get back into what I'm supposed to be doing, because, you know, this didn't pan out. Alright, so after all that, we got a bunch of TV to mark here. Let me also put in my book at the bottom so I can get proper spacing. So we watched a new Abbott Elementary, watched a new High Potential, and carried on with our rewatch of One Piece. And then I read more of my book, The Book That Broke the World. So I'll put these in here. Just a bunch of TVs. Not much else to talk about with this day. But yeah. Alright, so that was Thursday. Then on Friday, oh yeah, we got, Friday was the, okay, I want to put a fancy label at the bottom for my reading, but the top, Friday was the new update to Infinity Nikki. This was 2.2. What was 2.2? It's so far behind me now. I remember it was enjoyable. Was that Life is a Poem? I think that was 2.2. Life is a Poem. Oh, I can't remember now. Well, I apologize, but there was an update to Nikki this day, like a new patch. And then I had a Plan With Me go up, obviously because I filmed, probably because that was something I filmed on the Wednesday. I Plan With Me go up and I did some laundry. So put those in there. Laundry. And then I had some Happy Mail delivered. That was probably just the sticker mail. It was the end of the month, so that makes sense. It kind of fluctuates when I get my sticker mail from the US, but that was probably some sticker mail. Since we have a Happy Mail and then we had groceries delivered, we're continuing our rewatch of One Piece, groceries, and One Piece. And then I was still reading The Book That Broke the World. It's a fairly big book, I will say. So, and because this was still kind of early time of me getting up at like 6 a.m., I was going to sleep pretty early and wasn't reading as much in the night. Alright, then on Saturday we got the weekend, and I was playing more of that game. I'm going to put this one down the bottom here again for reading. And then for the game at the top, I might put this because I have a bigger sticker for it. And then, so Utopia, then we have, I did some laundry. And then I'm going to use a bigger, can I fit this in here? Just about. Then we did our meal prep for our lunches for the week. So put those in, because that usually takes 1 to 2 hours to get everything done, depending on the recipe. Meal prep. And then we have, you guessed it. Did you guess the show we're watching? One Piece. We got some more One Piece here. And then maybe I'll lift this up. Give myself some more space so I can use this box. Because I'm running out of boxes now. We're at the end of the week with the second colorway of this. But then I was just, obviously I played a bunch of Nikki, because obviously we had the new patch, we had the new story to play, so I probably played a bunch this day. And then I finished the book that broke the world this day. What did I give it? Let me have a look at my reading journal, because I don't remember what I gave it. It wasn't my favorite book of the month. Sorry, because of the pages here. Book that broke the world. I gave it 4 stars. Here. Just gonna remind myself. Like, my memory's not too bad, but now it's been, a couple of months. I really need to work on catching up. Finished book. So then on Sunday, we are playing that game in the morning. I was still kind of keeping my same routine for the day, including the weekend where I could. So I feel like that was a better thing to do. Then we're watching some more One Piece, and then I played some more of the Infinity Nikki update. The life of a childless millennial with lots of games. Honestly, the way my cat is though, she is a full-time child at this point, so gosh. I mean, she's the one running in the bedroom and screaming at me to wake me up at 6 a.m. So, yeah. She's a full-time job for me. So for dinner, we decided, I think at this point, we must have made chili on Saturday. So we made nachos with leftover chili on this day. And then Heartopia had this like concert event you had to be on at a specific time. So I was like, I'll go and try it out, and it was fine. I don't know, I was like, okay, that was it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't love the multiplayer parts of these games. So I did do that for the remainder, but everyone ended up kind of leaving early because it was kind of like, oh, it's kind of done. But yes, I was like, there it was, one of their events. And then I started a new book called Chaos Factor, which is the second book in the Protectorate trilogy by Megan O'Keefe, which is a sci-fi that I was really enjoying. I really liked it, and I still need to pick up the third book because it was really good. Alright, and that is the finished second half of the week. All filled in. It looks so cute. I'm going to go put it into the planner and we'll finish up this video. Alright, there we have the finished spread in the planner. It looks perfect in this planner, like the purple with the purple, and I love the way it came out. And I do always love me some sparkly hole, and I think the Gilded turned out so good. I wish I had a toolbox version just so I could put something on this one, but I don't love cutting up the full boxes overlays because I know you can do that, but I always feel like I can really notice the lines where it's cut. But so I just live without. But I think it turned out so pretty. And then we have at the end of January. Wasn't the best week. I was kind of wallowing in my own pity. I was quite depressed and, trying desperate things to feel something. But I think after this, I was like, okay, I've got it out of my system. I finished my book. We got a new Vinny Nikki update. We're doing meal planning. I kind of like gather myself up after this week a bit, and get, start life again in Feb with a very pretty snow, unlike January. But yeah, so it's just one of those weeks. But I'm glad I was able to do a beautiful spread with it. And I think January turned out really, really pretty. Like, different, but not too different. We got a lot of pinks and purples in it, but I've been feeling that lately. And I feel like pinks, purples, blues go with winter in my mind. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this plan with me. Let me know by giving this a like and subscribing if you haven't already. And then leave me down a comment below. Maybe leave the nails emoji where she's got the nails and the painting the nails. So sassy, so cute. So let's leave the paint nails emoji down below to let me know you've enjoyed this plan with me. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and I will get started right away in February. The next video should be my February kit lineup because I already filmed that. And we'll get into Feb, and we'll get into March, and we'll get into April and May. Oh gosh. We're gonna get there, but hey, at least I got some videos out now because it was a struggle for a while, but I'm definitely trying to make some more space and room in my current routine to get these videos up because I do enjoy it, and it feels good to get some stickers down and chat with you. But otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I love you. Bye-bye.